Hey everyone, Dr. Stein here. Today I am starting my draft analysis for the season 3 of DDL. That's right, I am not a coach this season, but an analysis. Look at that. I'm telling you, I cannot start a single video without stumbling. But I am not alone today. I am with our beloved commissioner of the DDL, Funch.
What's going on, guys? I am Dreepy Draft League's commissioner. I have been for 2 seasons, and it's about to be the third. Really excited to bring this analysis to you. I also do pick'ems and just about everything that's clerical behind the scenes for this league. So excited to break things down with Stein today.
Right. Thank you very much for that introduction. And without further ado, I think we'll get right into this analysis.
Hell yeah.
So we're gonna start right off the bat with Beamer. Beamer is the coach of the Infernal Paraders. I'm actually really digging that mascot logo. Very nice,
yeah.
very nice.
Very fire.
Nice, I see what you did there. So we're gonna start off with his team, and tell me, Funch, what do you like about this team so far?
Well, okay. Beamer was the first pick overall, and I think that he was flip-flopped between a couple of choices. He wanted Dragapult, he wanted Iron Valiant, he wanted a couple other things, and all in all, he ended up going with Iron Valiant. I think that is an extremely respectable first pick overall. I really like the offensive prowess of this team. There are so many really great offensive threats. Like Ogerpon Wellspring, Iron Valiant, Terapagos with setup. We've got Kilowattrel. All of his potential Terra captains are really great. Mamoswine has that priority, and Hoopon Bound hits like a nuclear bomb. So I think that the offensive pressure that this team is going to put on is really, really nice.
I agree 100%. I look at this team, and the best part is it doesn't stop at just offense. While not fully defensive team, he still has the defensive monster to back it up. He's got Hisui and Gudra. I know Pekarant, in at least physical wise, on the physical side, he's actually really tanky. And Terapagos is the Mew of Gen 9. It could be quite literally whatever. I know one move it will almost always run is, what is it called? The Terra Storm?
Terra Star Storm, yeah.
Terra Star Storm. But that's another utility mon. And Rapid Spitter. I think besides that, no one else really learns the fog here, right?
Right. I was looking at his team, and Terapagos does seem to be his only spinner. And that might detract away from my rating. Just a little bit, because having Terapagos be your only rapid spinner, you want it to be able to come in without having to spin, and you want it to be able to set up and do huge things, like huge damage. Obviously, it doesn't have great recovery, but as a rapid spinner, it's really good. I just think that it should have other supportive rapid spinners or defoggers so that
at least one more. So yeah.
Yeah.
Saving grace is I think, and sorry to interrupt you, just brief mention. I think the saving grace on Terapagos is the ability where at least he'll tank just about anything.
Yeah, for sure. It's multi-scale on crack. I wanted to say that there's two big things that I saw with this team. Petrarant and Gudra Hisui, stats wise, seem to really support each other. However, they are both weak, crucially, to ground. And I think that could be a pretty significant problem for the both of them. And also, I was looking at his Terra captains, and while I do respect the mascot pick in Typhlosion Hisui and having that as a Terra captain, I think Kilowattrel is being underestimated here as a Terra captain. It was banned last season because I think that there was an oversaturation with Kilowattrel Terras in draft leagues, but this time around, I wanted to unban it so that people could have it again. I really like Kilowattrel. I think it's an amazing Terra captain, and I think that it's better than Typhlosion Hisui. That's something I brought up to Beamer, but
I see. I actually agree a lot. I think it was a hard decision for him, being that one, it's the mascot, he's gonna have some preference. Two, putting a Terra on Hisui and Typhlosion gives it a lot more value. And then 3, it's between that and Toro's Blaze that also needs I mean, he doesn't need it, but once again, just like Typhlosion, he gets more mileage out of being able to Terra. But I completely agree. I feel like hopefully maybe down the road and as the season goes, maybe he switches to Terra Captain. I think, you allow up to week 4, week 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere around that. So maybe he'll just give it a go first few weeks, and if he was able to make it work, kudos to him. But definitely getting on the Kilowattrel, especially with the Volt Absorb, easily he can go pure Terra Flying or Terra Water, giving it a lot more coverage, especially against the ground types. That doesn't really
even more than that. I love Terra Fairy or Terra Ice on Kilowattrel. Having that Bolt Beam coverage is really nice. Terra Electric is also great for boosted Thunderbolts and Volt Switches. I think as a pivot, Kilowattrel loves that Terra Electric because then it does so much damage to anything that it hits.
Yeah. And then you can afford to run Timid. That way you almost never get outsped outside of Scarf.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I like that. So overall, what would you rate this team?
I'm gonna start this off with a. It's hard. It's hard to start off a rating. I think I'm gonna go 7 out of 10. And if I wanna double back and change that, I will. But I think 7 out of 10 is pretty solid for this team.
And I'm probably gonna be right behind you with that 7 out of 10, just because his defensive mons do have a very
exploitable weakness.
Yes, very much so. And then on his other offensive mons, I think only 1 or 2 resist it. Now only 1 resists, and then the other 2 are immune, but they're not really walls. They can get hit by a rock type.
Right, exactly. Before we move on, special shout out to Pecharunt, because Pecharunt is the only mon that was ever released on my birthday, and it was released this year on my birthday, which is pretty hype.
Look at that.
We're B-Day twins. We're B-Day twins.
Hey, look at that. You're both toxic.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's great. All right, we're gonna move on to Frozone now. Frozone is the captain of the coach of the New York Red Bull Buzz. Wait, that wasn't his team last season, was it?
Yeah, it's been his team for all 3 seasons. This is his dynasty.
Dang, I don't know why I've never. You know what the problem was? When I was recording the videos, I never introduced the team names, and that was my problem. Only the coach. Yeah,
that makes sense.
That's why I need to get more used to it. But there we go. So New York Red Bull Bus. Go ahead and start us off. What are you thinking of this team?
Oh man!
And you can feel free to address the elephant in the room right away if you want to.
Right. There are a couple elephants in this room. I'll be honest. First of all, I can't start out anything without saying hello, Dragapult. This is Dreepy Draft League. My man drafted Dragapult. Very, very on brand for the league. Also, 2nd pick overall. I think that's extremely respectable. Dragapult being your pick. Love that. Not to mention, he has the Sand Core that Kaz did so well with last season. He's got a Rotom Wash, which was one of his Season 1 GOATs, where he went completely undefeated up until playoffs.
AKA Scrotum Wash.
Scrotum Washed. Yeah, he won't be. He said that that nickname will not be returning for this season, and I'm personally glad about that. But yeah, it's still one of his GOATs. So I really like.
Gone but never forgotten.
Right, exactly. I see awesome bulk on this team. I see awesome offensive options. I think Monkey Dory's an underrated B tier. By the way, all the tiering decisions were done by me, so if you're looking at these and you see something you disagree with, feel free to comment. I just it's really hard to tier, especially if you're doing it by yourself, and I personally think that I did pretty well. Monkey Dory being a B tier is really, really nice. So is Halucha. But Monkey Dory having Frisk is something that we saw Kyoma have great success with in his DDL Season 2 run, which got him to semis, even though he pawned those picks off for charitable donations for his dog's medical needs, which is so sick. I personally donated for Monkey Dory, me and Banana Lou, who is also a coach in this draft league.
Nice.
But yeah, I just see some awesome bulk. I see Clefable, I see Rotom Wash, I see T-Tar, I see Volcanion, I see Fortress. I love a team that has really awesome bulky options. Dragapult can run bulky, Hawlucha can run bulky Defog. There's just there's such a je ne sais quoi when it comes to a really nice bulky offense team, and this team has it. I love this team, hands down.
Frozone. This reminds me of Frozone's season 1 draft where he got a weather pick, a weather duo, and just ran wild with it. You know?
Oh, absolutely.
And what I see here is he's got all the typings he needs. I don't think there's a single typing he doesn't have, right? Because he even has his normal type. Let me see.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I'm trying to see. Ice, he doesn't have an ice type, but you don't really need an ice type.
Yeah, you don't really need it.
Opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Clefable's got Ice Beam, and I remember in Kaz's draft league, I kind of ran Ice Beam almost every match. I'm pretty sure I ran it almost every match. Yeah, 100%, because it's like I'm good with that. Like that's the only ice move I need on the only mon I need. You know, so
yeah, bolt beam coverage is awesome, man.
Yep. He's got lots of pivots. What's it? Because I think Fortress gets Volt Switch, if I'm not mistaken.
He does.
Yeah. And
so
plenty
he's
of
got Volt Switch on Fortress. He's got U-turn on Monkey Dory, U-turn on Hawlucha. He's got Volt Switch on Rotom Wash.
I actually did not know Hawlucha got U-turn.
Fable.
Yeah. Dragapult has U-turn though, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So much maneuverability in this draft.
Yep. So honestly, it's a top tier team, very balanced, and I love the Terra typing on both his mons. The Terra Fire is always great on Brute Bonnet because it gives him great coverage and a good defensive niche that he really needs against both Bug and Fairy. And then Terra Poison. Now this is something I know is good on him, but I've actually never seen anyone put Terra Poison in either DDL or in Kaz's league either, for the few that did draft Brute Bonnet.
Puddle. Yeah, I think Poison is really, really nice because not only is Brute Bonnet weak to Poison, so it mitigates that Poison weakness. You're also never going to click a Psychic type move into Brute Bonnet or a Ground type move because it resists both of those naturally. So having Poison as an option can really catch some people off guard, and I like it.
And then going on to Terra types for Zangoose. Actually, we haven't even touched on Zangoose, man. What are your thoughts on this Zangoose pick?
Well, I just want to let Frozone cook here. I don't want to hate too much because I don't think that Zangoose is really all that. I know that it can be good, and I think that the types that he's chosen for it make a lot of sense. You know, you've got the Ghost to resist the Fighting type hits, and the Fighting type to I don't know, hit a nice Fighting Terror Blast. I don't know if it gets close combat or anything like. Yeah, it does get close combat, but the Toxic Boost, Zangoose could be really, really nice, I suppose. I really just want to see him use it, and I know that he will. He always uses every one of his mons in main season, so I'm excited to see him use that.
Okay, so overall, what are we giving this team?
I don't want to be too strong, but I'm gonna drop my first 10 on this Frozone team here.
I'm actually gonna give it a 9 out of 10 on my part, simply because of Zangoose, and it's not Zangoose hate. Trust me, I respect, I respect 100% the Zangoose pick. And you know, if he watches this, and I've told him in the chat as well, please name the Zangoose after me. But honestly, the reality is the Zangoose does hold it back. I'm not, you know, as much as I love it, I want to be idealistic about it as well. It is a holdback if not used correctly, but of course. Every coach is different. Every coach knows or will know what to do with their Pokemon, and we can only hope that Frozone cooks this season with it. So yeah. So I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10 on my end.
Very respectable.
All right, moving on to Finley, new to this league.
Oh.
He's coach of the Toronto Tepigs, and I know that's instantly a favorite of yours.
Oh man, I have plenty of things to say about this. So Toronto Tepix, obviously that grants some favor with me, but also me and Finley collaborated on this draft. I understand that I'm commissioner, but there was no collusion involved. It was really just Finley does not like to draft. He has said that openly. He does not. He thinks that drafting is the worst part of playing in a draft league. He
Oh
prefers
no,
the-
I 100% agree, dude. I don't like it. I think the only reason why I did so well with the puddle team in Cass's league is because my original plan sunk, and I just wanted to just have fun and troll everybody, and somehow that was the team I did the best with. Like when I turned my brain off, all of a sudden the team I ended up with was really good.
Hey man, the best way to play is by instinct.
Yeah. So I do not blame Finley for that, man.
I wholeheartedly disagree with you. I love drafting. I think it is the best part of playing in a draft league. Being able to pick your mons, sniping other people, getting sniped. I think there's a huge thrill to it. When it comes to Finley, he didn't really want to pick a lot of mons, so I ended up picking most of these picks for him. And Finley's never run Rain before, but I really do think, looking at this team, that this is one of the most cracked Rain teams I have ever seen in draft. I think Tornty is incredibly underrated. Archaludon and Rain, obviously. What more do I have to say? Keldeo hitting Rain-boosted Hydro Pumps makes me quiver. Getting 4 B tiers instead of 3A and 3B because of Barraskewda. I think having that core, Barraskewda, Pelipper, Archaludon, that was a core that absolutely dominated OU a while ago. There's a Jimothy Cool video about that I watched not long ago.
Nice. If I'm not mistaken, nothing else beats Barraskewda with Swiftswim, right?
Very few things. I think you can figure it out. I don't know. Like, Regieleki doesn't, that's for sure. So, yeah, very few things, which is really, really cool. Also, Regieleki didn't get drafted, so that's another thing. But Clodsire with Water Absorb and Unaware, awesome wall. Rotom Heat can also serve that defensive purpose. Toadschool as a spinner, as his only spinner, is probably the weakest part of this draft. But I'll be honest, man, I don't even care about hazard control. I really
Hey,
don't.
not when you're having fun in the rain.
No, exactly. Like, even set up webs, go ahead. My Barraskewda is still outspeeding it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and Rotom can just run Thunder in this set as well.
Ooh, that's some cookage for sure.
Yeah, like if you want to send the water type against Rotom, be aware he can launch a Thunder now.
Yeah, I love the Terra typing options. I think that Dark on Toadscruel is a little weird, but it makes sense when you think about it, because getting those boosted knockoffs, he doesn't really have a Dark type on this team, so being able to Terra Dark early in a match and be able to resist Psychic type attacks, or be immune to Psychic type attacks that threaten things like Keldeo and Clodsire, that's a really great option. So I love this team.
Yeah, I'm trying to see just maybe slapping a AV or an Archaludon or Tinkaton. Actually, wait, hold up. Persian Alola is dark.
Yeah, I mean, okay. So look, when I say he doesn't have a Dark type on this team, I mean we're not looking at Persian Alola.
Wait, I mean, but it gets pranked. Look, the saving grace for Persian Alola for me is it gets Prankster, right? But besides it still has a decent speed tier, you know? So it doesn't, 100% rely on it like Sableye does, like, for example. You understand? So
Persian Alola does not get Prankster. Does not get Prankster.
it doesn't?
And it gets Fur Coat. You can run Rattled, I guess, but no.
No, okay, my bad. Take it back.
Are really, really nice.
I
No, you're
did.
good. You're good.
Yeah. I don't know why
But
I
being
thought
able to
I
have a
got
really... Sorry, go ahead.
I don't know why I thought I got Prankster.
It looks like a Prankster. I'll give it that.
No.
Having those fast options with like Parting Shot, Switcheroo, Taunt, you can even run like a Thick Fat Nasty Plot set, or like, yeah, and Technician lets it hit harder with things like Fake Out, and I know that Fake Out's not like a huge thing in singles, but it can still help get some nice chip. It has really nice utility options. That's why I like it.
I got you. The only thing that I do see here with the Rain team Just a lot of overlapping. For example, he's got Killdio and Barraskewda, which isn't bad, but it's like one hits on the physical, one hits on the special. Okay, that's all right, but it's two water types that they are frail. Essentially, they're fast, but they can be frail. And then Pelipper and Tornadus Therian, like you want the rain so that Tornadus Therian can get the Bleak Wind Storms off, right? That's great. But then you have two flying types that are weak to lightning or to thunder, and or electric. I don't know why I'm confusing these moves.
Lightning, thunder, electric. It's all the same thing.
All same thing, right? And then if you're running a rain team, you're almost never having Garganical, right? Like, I mean, it's something he can mix up, definitely. But honestly speaking, like, it kind of gives, opposing team something easier to deal with. If they feel like their team is very vulnerable to a rain team, they don't have to prep for Garganical anymore. That puts it at a disadvantage since it can't terrestrialize.
That's true. And I think that the Garganical pick was mostly so that he's not locked into a rain mode. I think that you could very easily bring things like Arcaludon, Keldeo, Guard, Bodzire, Rotom Heat, Toedscool, Tinkaton, all of those outside of rain. I think you could bring Corntea as well. So you don't have to bring rain.
Oh no, you don't have to. I'm just saying in the instance where, let's suppose a coach has a team that is very susceptible to like a rain team. Like I remember my in my case, what was it? I went against MSR in Kaz's league, and week 1 I was like, dang, rain team cooks me. Like honestly, 100% rain team cooks me.
Yeah.
And then I was able to prep better for mons I knew that weren't gonna come, because it's like, well, it puts them at a disadvantage as well. But no, I really do like the hyper offense rain on here, and yeah, I think we're ready to rate this team. How about you?
Oh, for sure. I'm gonna drop a 9 out of 10 on this team.
Gotcha. I think I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10, just because there's once again, I see a couple of overlaps here, and I mean you can get creative with it, right? Honestly, but I'm gonna put out a solid 8 out of 10.
Understood. Fully respectable as well.
All right. So we're moving on to our 4th coach of the New Orleans Pelipers. Darn shame we couldn't draft him, but we have Justin.
Yeah. This is the winner of last season, so DDL season 2 winner.
Hey, yep. Let's go! Now I remember. I saw the match. He did really good this season.
Yeah, I think it's incredible. Justin's one of those players that just has a natural prowess for Mons. He does not prep. He does not need it. He just builds a team, jumps into the battle, plays his best, and he does really well most of the time. Whenever I'm looking at his team here, I love a lot of these ones. I love a lot of them individually. I do think that there is some role confusion when it comes to this team.
Please do share.
Landorus, Therian, Iron Hands, Rillaboom, those are all really great, bulky physical options. Obviously, Lando can run special, but those 3, I think, kind of get colluded with each other. They collide when it comes to their roles.
Interesting. Okay. No, I think I'm seeing what you're putting now. Okay.
I also see the Meowscarada in S tier and the Rillaboom in A tier. Those 2 mons are essentially using very similar moves to hit, like Rillaboom with knockoff, Grassy Glide.
I honestly thought that's what you were referring to at first when you were saying some misrolls here.
Right, and I think that's another thing. You got 2 grass starters. Now, I don't hate those 2 grass starters. I think they're both incredible mons. But I think that there's just some sort of favoritism going on. Like, ooh, I like this mon, I'm gonna pick it outside of the looking at it as a specifically competitive team. I think that these are like personal value picks, personal favorite picks.
Gotcha.
Which I don't hate.
I don't know. Oh, I see the beloved Espathra there. God dang, man. One trick pony. One trick pony, I tell you.
I think Espathra could be really great on this team, especially with so many physical breakers that can free up space for Espathra to sweep in game. I also see something like dual screens Florges really doing well. You could also run dual screens on Meloetta if you wanted. Meloetta is Teraband, by the way. I should point that out.
Thank you, Funch. Thank you. Should never been able to Terra in season 1.
It only got to finals. It's fine, bro.
It only got to finals using the same set. All of playoffs, let me tell you. Same set, it never changed.
Yeah, that's true. I really, though, looking at this team, I do love the Florges Dondozo combo. Those two being like the best reps for their individual stats, like Dondozo being a defensive tank, Florges being a special tank. Those two bounce off each other really, really well. Galvantula is great as a Terra captain. Having the compound eyes, Terra Electric Thunder can really do a lot of damage. Also, it has webs as an option, which could really, really be great for Lando, for Rillaboom, for Entei, I suppose. Yeah, there's a lot of good things on this team.
No, definitely. I like how you mentioned Entei. It's like, oh, that's right. He drafted Entei.
Hey man, I have an Entei. I have Entei, Florges, Rillaboom in my other league currently. I think Entei's great. I think it can work, especially as a lower tier fire type. Like if you were hurting for some fire, you wanted some. At the same time, I need to.
I personally would just wish he had a secondary fire type that wasn't Entei. Not, once again, it's nothing against Entei. Just I feel like if you're gonna draft Entei, have another option just in case. Right? Because there's just some things Entei can't do as a fire type, unfortunately.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with you.
Yeah, but no, I once again, I don't hate this pick at all. Definitely the Meowscarada Rillaboom is a bit iffy choice on hand. But I actually really love the Drifloon set, Terra set. The Ghost, Fairy, and Ground. Ground actually probably is a little iffy to me. I understand why he would get it, but still ain't a little iffy. But yeah, I'm excited to see what Justin cooks with this team, honestly. I can definitely see him going either defensively or offensively, depending what he wants to do. If he wants to torture his opponents with Storm, more than welcome to do so. But yeah. All right. So what would you rate this team?
I'm gonna drop an 8 out of 10 on Justin's team. But individually, these mons that I love: Landorus, Iron Hands, Rillaboom, Florges, Dondozo, Galv, even Meloetta. Oh, dude, I love all these mons. Then the mons 10 out of 10. The team 8 out of 10.
Gotcha. I'm actually gonna agree with you and put 8 out of 10. Because despite some questionable overlaps, the team just still looks real solid. I personally feel like sometimes I don't know what to think if I was to prep against this team, just because it seems a little mismatched in some areas. But altogether, it's really solid. You still got to be aware because individually, any of these things can come.
I agree with you. Yep.
Right. Moving on to Lou. Is it Lugalug? It's
Lou. I call him Lug out of affection, but it's definitely Lou.
Okay, Lou. Lou of the Eternal Forest PC. Alright. Actually, I find that very funny. He's got PC at the end, and that's what Rotoms love to go into. The mascot he's got there.
That's funny. It's Pokemon Club. Like,
yeah.
Club,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I understood PC as PC. It was a real funny joke. Alright, so, oh my goodness, where do we start with this?
There's a lot of places you can start, man. It's this is a certified Lug team. I see Skarm, I see Alomomola, I see Heatran, Great Tusk. That is so difficult. That is so hard to break through.
I mean, on the bright side, 2 of his walls don't like electric moves, but Heatran can be another wall. And then you're just inviting, if you try to go for electric, Raging Bolt comes in free.
This is true, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So I want to say something about the walls. Skarmory and Alomomola being both weak to electric, yes. However, Heatran, Spadef wall, most electric type attacks are special. So Heatran's eating those up every day of the week. not only does he have a Heatran, he has a Raging Bolt, which resists, and he has a Great Tusk, which is completely.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
So, like, I just think the type synergy on this team is so incredible. His offensive options are so potent in Darkrai, in Raging Bolt, in Ninetales Alola. Also, his Terra Cap is like Terra Water Araquanid. That is a mon that many people have been scared to unban in draft or un-Terra ban in draft. I think that we're going to see that thing do really great things with its Water Bubble ability. Super specially bulky and can also hit extremely hard with a water type attack. So,
and to be honest, it's like when you look at everything until Yuxi, it's like when are you actually going to prepare for Araquanid?
Yeah.
When are you actually going to prepare for it when you got all this to deal with and prepare for? And he's got so much support in Yuxi, Whimsicott, the screens from Alola. Ninetales, Alolan form. Skarmory setting up with the hazards. Does Pheasantipity get toxic spikes?
I don't know that. Let me look it up real quick. I will say about the Pheasantipity though, that is a mod, like, it has Toxic Chain and it has Technician. So like it has two really great abilities. It has Roost. So it just gets a lot of
this man can stall you.
It doesn't get two spikes,
okay, so that's fine. But this man can stall you or just run through you more than Finley can. That is crazy. Oh.
Yeah, I love this team personally. I think Lou absolutely cooks every single time he drafts.
Where was he in the draft list?
What'd you say?
In the draft order, where was he?
Lou was 5th pick, I believe.
Oh, so he's around the middle, and he got all this?
Right. Raging Bolt at 4th, in the 4th round. That's incredible to me. I think that's nuts. There's no reason that Raging Bolt should have lasted that long in A, but it sure did, and he sure got it. So
hey, congrats to Lulu getting, being able to draft all this. I think we're ready to rate this team.
Oh, for sure. I'll drop my second 10.
I am going to go straight to 10 out of 10. I'm going straight 10 out of 10. There's no, I can't. There's nothing bad. Even if I wanted to try, I can't say anything bad about it.
I just think, I think that Lou and Frozone do have the two strongest drafts. That's just like a blanket statement right now, though. Obviously, I haven't sat down, looked, and picked apart every single one of these individually, but I still have to go with 10.
Fine. All right. Next, we have Deepav of the Stellar Centrets. Deepav's a regular of the DDL.
Yeah,
a finalist.
Well, correct, yeah.
And I don't know what else to say at this point.
Well, he's got a new logo and a new team name.
Hey, there we go.
No shade to Deepav. That Season 1 Magmortar was horrifying every time that I saw it. Not the mon, the logo. I'm dissing.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, I understand.
Onto the team. I can see a couple of things that I would want to change personally had this been my draft.
Okay.
First of all, he has an incredible electric weakness, and really, he has 1 resist and 2 immunities. And Jolteon is not an immunity that is awesome to have, because even if it switches in, it could be taking quite a bit. Its defenses are not incredible. Donphan is the same thing. It's like if it's going to take a special hit, it's probably not going to enjoy that very much. So it's the electric weaknesses of all of the top tier mons, like Enamorous, Manaphy, Slowking, Moltres.
Dang, that's 4 in a row right there.
Right, and that's a little bit difficult to deal with, for sure.
Yeah, and they're his top tiers too.
Yeah. I see Manaphy, Slowking, and I don't wholeheartedly disagree with it. I don't hate it. Because I love Slowking individually as a mon, and I love Manaphy. Manaphy, I think, is undervalued in A, and I put it there so that somebody could get a value pick out of it. But yeah, those two high tier, A tier water types. I don't know specifically the reason why. I mean, Manaphy being better at taking special hits if you want to run something like AV. Slowking being better at taking physical hit, or no, that's the other way around. Slowking's the physical wall, right?
Yeah.
Special wall.
No, Slowking is special.
Yeah, it's a special wall. So yeah, I think the synergy between Slowking and Dawnfan is pretty good. I think Amoongus is also pretty decent. Haxorus is a sleeper option for setup. Moltres is one of his Season 1 goats. Then you have Goldengo and Amorous Incarnate, which hit extremely hard, both of them. And I think the biggest strength in this draft is the Terra Captains. Easily.
Oh, I'm saying he's got some great ones, dude.
Yeah.
Rock, because he gets head smashed, right?
Yep, Reckless Head Smash from Embor, Terra Rock. That is decimating something.
The grass, I'm a little iffy on, but it can really work in his favor if he's able to use it correctly.
Well, I think that it resists the ground and the water type moves that are coming in to kill Embor, so having grass as an option is really good, in my opinion.
I will say something I also noticed. He has a glaring weakness to ice.
It's true.
It's not even funny. From Moltres to Amoongus, that's 4 in a row. His D tier is weak to ice, and then Enamorous is also weak.
Yeah.
I mean, his defense, he's got solid. He can find ways to come in like Goldango, Manaphy, Slowking. They all eat up ice moves, all of them. But at the same time, it's like, okay, well, they can bait out with something else though. Like anything that gets Bolt Beam or electric type that can Terra Ice, that's he's playing a dangerous game there because now he has to guess what's gonna happen.
I completely agree. Yeah, I do think that is that's.
Oh my god! Wait. So this is a Bolt Beam weak team because you said Electric. This is a Bolt Beam weak team.
It's the most potent type combination offensively in Pokemon, in my opinion. It's not crazy to see a lot of teams weak to Bolt Beam, but at the same time, there are multiple glaring weaknesses. But take a look at the tier list. There are plenty of things that can be done to this team to mitigate those if he so chooses. So I don't think that by any means this initial draft is a precursor to what will come.
Oh yeah, no, definitely not. And, Deepav, once again, he's a great coach. I've seen him cook with his Moltres with the weakness policy. If he sets up just one agility, it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
So it's, once again, I trust Deepav with this. It is just a concern, and once again, we're doing this off what we see, not that we know Deepav will make it right. It's just what we see personally.
Right. I'm ready to rate. How about you?
All right, I am as well. Go ahead.
I think because I know already that you're giving this a 6 out of 10, so I'm gonna throw it up to 7.
All right. I'm glad you know me so well. Yeah.
I knew it. See,
Yeah.
Like I think I could see myself going 6 out of 10 with this team, but I trust Deepav to cook. I think Manaphy is a value pick.
Oh no, definitely. Once again, I trust them to cook as well. I'm just rating this as a draft team. You understand?
Oh, for sure. I just think that the offensive options are really potent, and while I don't prefer the defensive options that he has, I think that he can steamroll through teams that way.
Gotcha. All right. So moving on to Kyoma, our Season 1 winner, coach of the Chicago Lose. Where are we starting with this, Funch?
Oh man, there's plenty of places to start. I do like this team a lot. I think that it has a lot of options. This is one of those teams that is very versatile. You can run, not that you'd want to, but you can run multiple sets on Gouging Fire. Really, man, you should just be running the DD set and just go ham. But then there's things like there's fast threats like Greninja, Glamora, Thundurus, Ogerpon, Azelf. Even Tauros Aqua is pretty fast. So I love the speed on this team. I love the versatility of Mons. I don't think that defensively it's the most incredible, but I don't think that it needs to be. I don't think that's the point of the team. Sylveon wants to wish pass into offensive options so that they can do their work. Thundurus wants to pivot Rin wants to pivot and then sweep at the end. Ogerpon wants to set up and do crazy things. Yeah, I think that this is just a really solid team. I'd be happy to have this team if I were playing as well.
Yeah. No, I'm really impressed with it. I think just having Gouging Fire and Greninja automatically just makes this a force to be reckoned with, not counting what he already has as well. Ogerpon Grass for me is very underrated simply because it basically has the same moveset as all the other Ogerpons, but he gets to hold an item. You know,
Yeah.
okay, sure, he's pure grass, right? But think about, like, how many times have you thought, if only I can hold an item, right? If only I had a choice scarf to automatically be fast. You know, things like that. You know, what if I had a focus sash? I mean, in the case of the rock Ogerpon, he has a built-in one, right? But you know, things like that. So I feel like he can definitely do a lot, and Ogerpon can be a support mon as well if he so desires, with Encore to prevent setup. And because of his speed tier, I mean, he's already gonna outspeed, you know, a lot of things that either want to do a bulk up or calm mindset.
Right. I think Ogerpon is one of those new mons that has immediately jumped into a lot of people's like top 10. It's definitely in my top 15 mons of all time, even the ones that can't hold items. But I think that Ogerpon itself as a B tier pick is so valuable because it gets things like Send Headbutt, U-Turn, Superpower, Stomping Tantrum, Play Rough, yeah, Low Kick, Knockoff. It has so many options, and that is such a strength. The Encore, dude, like it's fast Encore too, and it can hold an item and it can do really whatever it wants. I'm really excited to see Kyoma cook because I really have not seen this Ogerpon Grass pop off very much, and I think that it can. Definitely think that it can.
Well, how are you feeling about the Terras that he chose?
Tauros Aqua has been Terra banned for years now, and I decided, along with Tauros Blaze, which we saw on, I believe, whose team was that?
We saw it on, I believe, Justin's?
Beamer.
Oh,
No,
Beamer.
Beamer. Yeah. Those mods have been banned for so long, and I was like, God, why? I know that they're good, but it's not warranted. I don't think. I think that they're like good, but
I think especially because we've already had 2 waves of DLC. I think it's about time that we at least give it a shot, and I'm glad you've unbanned it because there's things that can definitely withstand it. But I'm actually really, excited to see that he kept both of his original types as Terras. Normally we see them have to choose between one of the dual typings, but he almost stuck with both.
I think that that's extremely good. Having a potential, Terra fighting close combat just in the back waiting, not to mention Intimidate, is really nice. Plus, Terra Water Wave Crash hits like a truck. Steel's really good just for resisting everything. I love Steel. Steel is a Terra type. Yeah. Steel and Fairy are the best 2 Terra types. Yeah. Like hands. I'll say that as a blanket statement.
How are you feeling about the Terra Dragon on this Anaconda?
Hey man, he's gonna cook. Scale shot? Oh bro, Terra Dragon Scale Shot Anaconda is coming and it's gonna cook.
Yep, I can't wait to see it. Alright, so what are you rating this team?
I'm gonna give this team I'm gonna give it an I'm between an 8 and a 9, but I'm gonna go 8. I'm gonna give Kyoma an 8.
I'll do you the favor. I'll put down the 9 for you.
That's mafia privilege right there.
Shh. Audience doesn't know, man. Alright, we're moving on with Dusty, another mafia boy here, coach of the Detroit Gale Wings. Alright, and right out the gate, look at this team.
Yeah, I think compared to a couple of Dusty's other drafts, he has outdone himself with this draft. He has a really versatile team. I say versatile, and then I see Mew at the bottom of A tier, like his last A tier pick, and I'm like, yeah, versatile. Duh. Cinderace, extremely versatile. King Gambit doesn't need to be versatile. Toxapex doesn't need to be versatile. Annihilate does not need to be versatile. All of them are just really solid mons in their own right. All of his top tiers are really great. and then he's got some good levitating options to mitigate the ground weakness from the above Cinderace, Toxapex, King Gambit. He has Moltres, he has Rotom-Mow, he has Flygon, and Oricorio Pom-Pom. Every single one of those is a ground resist. So like type-wise, I think that this team is just very solid.
I think besides Zangoose, Oricorio is probably the only other mon that I'm actually scared to see what it does in this draft league. I think I'll have to compare it to Will Season 1 with the Bombardier.
Or with the Dreadnought, bro.
Oh, no, the Dreadnought, that's right, because he then switched it. Oh, yeah, so I'm really excited, because it's like, you don't know what this is going to do. You have an idea what it can do, it's not till you actually see it. But, yeah.
It's gonna Quiver Dance. It's gonna own some people with some Quiver Dance. I'm really excited to see Oricorio Pom-Pom pop off. I think un-Terra-banning it made it very worth it as a D-tier pick.
Yeah, and honestly, I want to say that another thing I really like about this team, right? It's that it's hard to set up on it, because both Cinderace and Moltres can shut down physicals, right? Oh, Rotom-Mow as well. Rotom-Mow, I said Maw. And if you want speed control, you just start Thunder Waving with both Gardevoir and Rotom.
That's true.
I don't know if Oricorio can Thunder Wave. I don't think it can.
Don't know that. Not off the top. But I think that that's an apt statement. Toxapex and Moltres are two mons that I think can definitely be set up on, but everything else is really potent and is really hard to set up on them. So I'm really excited to see what Dusty does with this team. I think it's very versatile. I think he has a lot of options for team building, and I think that that's going to really benefit him in the rolling of this mini season.
Gotcha. All right, so what are we rating this Dusty team?
I want to throw him in an 8 as well. Solid 8.
All right, and I think I'm going to agree with you right there on that 8. We're both giving him that nice 8 out of 10. Good job, Dusty. I feel like, well, like you said, he's outdone himself compared to his previous drafts. And yeah, I just realized this is second season drafting Mew in the DDL. And thank God I'm not here for it, man, because first time was head-wrecking enough.
I mean, I have my own complicated feelings about Mew. I think that it's washed this season, or not this season, but like this generation, Gen 9. I think Gen 9 took a lot from Mew, but at the same time, it's one of the most versatile ones ever. It just gets taken down a notch by that 4-move slot syndrome.
Yeah.
But I still think that it's very, very easy to cook with Mew. So.
All right. Now we're moving on to Spoods, coach of the how do you pronounce?
Is the Talkeetna Tyrants? Yeah.
Thank you, Funch, for coming in, because I could not talk. Say that one more time.
Talkeetna. Yeah, you got to think of it. It's like, I think it's Alaskan.
Okay, yeah, 'cause I'm from the South, bro, and you do not want to hear me try to do that with a Southern accent. I'm holding back the Southern accent because I think that's the only way I'd be able to pronounce this correctly.
Welcome to Spood's breakdown for the Talkeetna Tyrants.
All right. You actually nailed that very well, let me tell you.
Thank you. That's how my grandma talks. Anyway.
All right, so start us off, Funch.
Okay. Now, we both know Spoods.
We both know Spoods.
I think that he has some really decent options on this team, but I think that it's lacking direction. I do like Walking Wake plus Sun. I think Victory Bell's a steal in D, especially with Torkoal support. But then that's where it stops. That's where the Sun mode stops, and then it confuses me. And then he has the Indeedee Male Sneasler for Psychic Surge and Unburdened Sneasler, which can be really, really good. It even benefits Hatterene for those strong Psychic type moves. But then that's where that mode stops as well. And then he's got great hazards with Cleaver, with Corviknight. And then he's got an Ursaluna question mark. There's just a lot of mons on this team that I don't know where they're going, like one way or another. I think Bisharp, incredible Terra Captain. I will never diss Bisharp. Love that mon. Raikou, I think, is just naturally weak in A tier.
And I don't feel like he really built this team to support Raikou. Like, I think Raikou was like, I need a good electric type, and then that was it.
Right, and I think that it can be that, but I think its best set is like Calm Mind, Substitute, or 3 attack, Calm Mind, Scald, Thunderbolt, and that's probably its best set. And I think that it's not built to do that on this team. It can be a strong option. I think that this team though requires a lot of solid piloting, and so I'm really hoping to see Spoods do that.
Just the one thing about the Torkoal and Ursaluna, you set yourself up for an opponent to just get like a Solar Blade or Solar Beam off, and you really don't want that. I mean, Ursaluna's great and all, but it's like you just got something you gotta be aware of. You're kind of helping your opponent take out one of your biggest, wreckers right there.
Right. I want to point out that Spoods is a doubles player, and I see this team, and instantly the thing that I think of most...
Oh my god, that's right!
Right. The thing that I think of most is Trick Room. Like, this is a Trick Room team, a doubles Trick Room team, and I think that it works really well under that context. But I do think that he's going to see himself struggle just a little bit to build with it. So, to mitigate that, I'm interested to see if he makes any trades, or if he just completely outdoes my expectations.
I believe he can. Just, it's going to be hard. He's got 2 different monsters instead of Trick Room, and they're very valuable. Like, his team has the speed tier to work in Trick Room, 100%.
It's just such a hard thing to do in singles. In doubles, it's like it lasts like 5-6 turns. In singles, you're playing a match that could last upwards of 40 turns, and it can be really, really difficult to accomplish a solid Trick Room mode within that. I think that his mode right now is Psychic Surge with DD, and I think that if he leans into that, he can really do some things. But
plus, it helps with his more fragile teammates with any priority moves, like Sneasler. Like, one of the only ways to counter an unburdened Sneasler, sometimes it's you have to chip it enough where a priority move will knock it out, but with Psychic Surge up, you can't go for that strat anymore.
Right. I think that it's also worth noting that the most potent Psychic Surge things I actually need to look some stuff up on Psychic Surge. I don't really fully understand it. If a mon is not touching the ground, grounded Pokemon cannot be hit by moves with priority greater than 0. Okay, cool. I was gonna say something about how the best priority move users, the E-speed users, are like things like Dragonite that float above the ground, so it doesn't matter anyways. But it does matter. I think that the Psychic Surge mode is really, really nice, and it can do a lot of work. I think that Walking Wake and Torkoal are misplaced on this team, though. That's just my opinion.
No problem. So what are we rating this for you personally?
Don't hate me, Spoods. I'm gonna give this a 6, but I still think you can cook with it.
Yeah, Alright, this guy's sound mean as well. Taking Spoods and his doubles, because his doubles is his lane, right? Taking that out of the picture, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10.
Alright.
And not because I think Spoods is a bad player, it's just he's more, once you brought up the point that, I kind of forgot that he's more of a double-centered player, and this team definitely does scream doubles. But, besides that, I feel like it can definitely do something. So I'm going to give it 7 out of 10. All right, we're getting closer to the end now. We got Maki next. Coach of the Las Vegas Leaves. Yo, I'm actually really digging that logo.
Yo, the logo is so clean. I don't know who made that for Maki, but...
Who let them cook?
Yeah, seriously. If Maki made that herself, let's go, Maki.
Goodness. All right. So, how you feeling about Maki's team?
I think it's solid. I think I see a lot of mons that I really like. I love Latios. I love Iron Treads. Honestly, the first 6 picks, solid as heck. I think Sandy Shocks is one of those mons that makes me mad because it can do so much, but I never see it cook. I never see it go, the 3 kills that I feel like Sandy Shock should be getting. And Maki doesn't really have like a sun mode or anything like that to help it out with Proto. So I just think that Sandy Shocks is more of a pivot, and I want it to be a sweeper because its typing is so sick. Anyway, that's just my personal grievance with Sandy Shocks. I like the Weezing, I like the Umbreon, I like the Dirge, I like the Primarina. God, the defensive options on this team are also just awesome. And that's something I look for whenever I see a team. It's just defensive options. Does it have hazard control? And is it going to require the coach to work a lot harder than other coaches? And I think that this team could require Maki to work a little bit harder than other coaches, just because some of these mons require setup to really break. Like, I guess Umbreon doesn't really set up, Weezing doesn't really set up, but Chinchino needs it to break. Arboliva is one of those mons that really wants to set up to break.
The good thing about Arboliva, though, is it's just annoying. It is, for me, more than anything, it's annoying to deal with. And then if you let it get to you, then you really help your opponent win.
Right.
I've seen this thing just... It shouldn't like get in the way as much in matches, and I've seen it in other leagues, but just because it has the right tools to be annoying, if you don't have the patience for it, it gets more mileage than it should.
Yeah. I think overall the speed is really nice as well with the offensive options. Iron Shreds, Latias has pretty decent speed. Overpun's really fast. Sandy Shocks is like 101, I think. Chinchino's fast, Flamigo's fast. So having that speed is really nice, but there is a big gap in the middle, I will say.
Yeah, I see you. I got
the
you.
fast ones and the slow ones. So that could cause some problems with team building. But other than that, really solid options, good type coverage, good synergy between individual mons.
And I do want to personally say I love the fact that Flamigo got drafted. Like, it almost never gets drafted, and it's one of my personal favorite mons of this gen. And yeah, so happy to see it on the team. So can't wait to see how Maki cooks with it. So, how are we rating this team?
I'm gonna throw this team at a 7. I think that it could easily go 8. I just this is Maki's first season in Dreepy Draft League,
okay.
And that's just what I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go 7.
And I'm gonna be right behind you with 7 out of 10.
Nice.
All right. So we have our penultimate spot, Will. Will is, let me tell you, he's a dark horse sometimes.
I think he is the dark horse.
He is the dark horse. This is our coach of the Manchester Morpicos. Dark type. There you go. Proof he's a dark horse.
Well, he's half dark horse, half not. Anyway, that's a mouse. Whatever.
No. Hey, well, hold up. This Pokemon actually represents it perfectly. You see, Will on the surface looks, he looks like he can't harm a butterfly, right? But deep down, look at that.
He got that dog in him.
He got that dog in him. He's on demon time.
I swear to God. Yeah, I love this team. To be honest, from Will, every time that I see Will's team in draft, I'm like, what the heck? What is he cooking, dude? Like, I don't even understand it. But every time he surprises me. So that I have to factor that in. It's impossible for me to not factor that in. I think he's got some really underrated threats. I think Hydreigon, Azumarill can really pop off. Conkeldurr did really great last season on Frozone's team, and I'm really looking forward to see Will work with it. Something I noticed being a commissioner of multiple draft leagues is whenever one person faces a mon and it causes them a lot of trouble, they have a tendency to want to draft that next season. And I see this on Will's roster specifically. He had some trouble with the Powdon Houndstone core that Kaz had, and he had some trouble with Conkeldurr, which Frozone had, and I think that he used that to his advantage this draft and was able to pick those mons up and use them for his own devious purposes.
Speaking of which, I see he drafted one of my beloved favorites, Bronzo.
Oh, I love Bronzong. Bronzong's a goat for me as well.
Oh yes, 100%. I agree.
Fun
No,
fact about Bronzong: it is the Mon that most Elite Four members have on their team. Like it is the most used Mon by Elite Four members
because
and
he's
champions.
that Mon. He's that Mon.
He's that guy. He's just that guy.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah. Let me tell you, dude. This is a great. He's got defog on 2 Mons because some reason Conkeldurr can defog.
They sure can.
That's just wow to me.
He's just swinging that cement around. That's all it is.
He's got Stealth Rock Setters in both Apollyon and Hippowdon. And then once again, he's got that Sand Team going on. Which,
that's your boy. He's got Zong too. This setup.
There's nothing much for me to say about Zong. I don't have to say much about Zong. That's the thing.
Okay.
That's the beauty of it. I don't have to say much about Zong. I already said I love that he's got it. We are glazing this Mon already. I don't know what more you want me to do.
as a D tier pick, like God, what a beautiful Mon. It's so good. Anyway, look at I don't know, the S through A's. Those are really great offensive options. Iron Boulder, Okarpon, Hearthflame, both really heavy hitters, really fast. I think that he's gonna cook with those. Absolutely.
Can't wait to see. Toxtricity has always been a tricky pick for me because he can do well, but it's just a matter of, not a lot of people can find a way to make it work. So hopefully Will can surprise us this season with it.
Yeah, I think it's middling speed tier is just a little bit leaves a little bit to be desired, but having Terra plus something like Shift Gear can really lend Toxtricity the help that it needs, I believe. And I think that it's a really solid Terra captain alongside Houndstone.
And I truly believe that with this team, he's going to have the many opportunities to be able to set a situation where he can get that Shift Gear.
Yeah. I also, like I said in previous teams, the defensive options on this are super dope. They're so good. Mandibuzz, Empoleon, Powdon, Conkeldurr, Houndstone, Bronzong, all of those are extremely defensive mons, or can be run extremely defensively. And yeah, I'm really excited to see Will cook.
All right, so what are we rating this team?
I'm gonna go 8.
I'm actually gonna give it a 9. I love it so much. Like I feel like he has an answer for just about everything, but I know that there's still something missing. Because right now I think besides Iron Boulder, if he does not get Sand Up, he has no immediate speed.
Sure, I mean Ogerpon's incredibly fast as well, so don't.
I mean, yeah, definitely, but but it doesn't break 100. That's the thing though. Like he doesn't have.
What? It's 110.
Wait, what?
Ogerpon is 110 base speed.
Why did I think he was 95?
I don't know, bro.
That's crazy. Yeah, no, I'm off today. No, okay, yeah, but still 9 out of 10 for me. All right, we got our last coach here, Harvey, coach of the Roaring Tides. Let's go. What do we gotta say about Harvey?
Well, Harvey, I want to officially welcome Harvey because last season he did take over for Dusty in the last 2 weeks because Dusty had an injury and he was unable to continue to play. So really appreciate Harvey, first of all, for that. And second of all, really appreciate him for just sticking around and wanting to play another season with us. I think Harvey's a really incredible battler. He's also a really nice guy. Just want to put that out there. He's a great fella. Love talking to that guy. But I think that he drafted a really, really solid team overall. He saw the Iron Thorns able to Terra, and he said, I want that so bad. Terra Bug, I think, is a hilarious option, but it really works. It gives him that ground
and fighting resist.
Yeah, and fighting resist, which is exactly what flying does. Anyway, we won't have to talk about that. He's got awesome defensive options, awesome offensive options. I have yet to be proven that Iron Bundle is him, but I want Harvey to prove it to me. Like, I think last season, Deepath missed over 50%, over 60% of his Hydro Pumps.
Yet somehow he hits it against me.
Right. I think that, like, Mon by Mon, you could look at all of these and say, yeah, these are pretty solid. Thwacky is a really good option because having grassy terrain up with things like Tinglu, things like Scizor that really appreciate it, things like Dragalge, so that the ground type
Even Iron
moves
Thorns
don't.
himself.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So those ground type moves don't do as much. That's a really awesome thing. And then the bulk is great. He has really awesome defensive options in Zapdos, Tinglu, Scizor, Dragalge, Suicune, Screamtail. Even I just passed right over that one. But yeah, really great offensive options as well with Iron Bundle and Infernape and Iron Thorns and even Brambleghast. I love Brambleghast. So just a solid.
Oh yeah, this is 100% solid. He's got both Proto and Boost. What's it called? What's the future paradox?
Fork Drive.
Fork Drive. I can never remember the future one.
It's all Gucci.
Yeah. I like the Suicune pick a lot because that way he doesn't have to rely on Iron Bundle being his sole water type, especially because if there's a game where he feels like he doesn't want to risk the Hydro Pump Miss. You can just go Scald, go defensive Suicune. And that's a crime, bro. Out of the very few water types that still got Scald, you had to give it to Suicune.
I think Suicune is so underrated.
100%, dude.
That thing can really just set up and do amazing things as long as the threats that threaten it are out of the way. And there's not a ton of threats that really like prevent it from doing its best. I think Suicune's synergy and Dragalge's synergy with Scizor is awesome. I think that is going to be a really cool defensive core to watch. I also think, like, you know, Zapdos Tinglu, God, that is such an awesome core. Having ice resists in Suicune and Scizor as well to support Tinglu and Zapdos, which are both weak to ice, that's sick. And then just a lot of options for this team. I think it's going to make team building really fun for Harvey. And I would, like I said about Kioma, I would love to have this team in draft. Minus maybe Screamtail. I'm not convinced on Screamtail yet, but one day it'll happen. Maybe it'll be Harvey that convinces me.
All right, so what are we rating this final team of ours?
I'm gonna give Harvey an 8 out of 10.
And I will also be giving him an 8 out of 10 as well. All right, there we are, and there we have it. Let's go over these ratings just so everyone.
Go over to the overview tab on the draft league overview.
On the draft league.
You see it
in Discord?
No. On the document.
Okay, hold on.
Should just say.
I got. There we go. All right, let me try to put this in a way that they all come out. They do not all come out in this way. Oh well. All right, so I'll just do like a bit of scrolling over. So overview. Oh, I guess we're starting with Kioma. This is a weird way to put it. Okay. So Kioma, you gave him an 8 out of 10, and I gave him a 9 out of 10. You value this team very highly and believe it's one of the best ones that we have here. Next on we have Justin. You ranked him at 8 out of 10, and I also followed suit with another 8 out of 10. Good strong contender. Deepav, you gave him a 7 out of 10, and I gave him the lower one of a 6 out of 10. So we have a Bolt Beam weak team, but we know Deepav. We know he's going to pull through, find a way around it. Maybe even use that to his advantage to pull the wool over someone's head. Alright, next up we have the Dark Horse, Will. You gave him an 8 out of 10, and I had to give him a 9 out of 10. Man, this is a really phenomenal team. Next up, Frozone. You gave him a 10 out of 10. No, you gave him a 10 out of 10. I'm the one that gave him a 9 out of 10, I believe. No, that's backwards. That's backwards. You gave him that. I'm the one that wanted that 10 out of 10. Yeah, absolutely love this team.
Absolute cap. I gave him a 10. That was Frozone and.
Oh no, because the Zangoose. That's why I gave it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, bro. You're hating on Zangoose.
Yeah, I am. No, I'm not hating on him. I'm being realistic. I love the Zangoose. Once again, if we add the coach in the mix, this is a 10 out of 10. But I'm trying to do objectively here. Okay, so it's not hating. I promise you. Okay, we have Dusty next. We both gave him an 8 out of 10, and we both agree that this is best draft of all 3 seasons here in the DDL.
For sure.
All right, Beamer. We both gave him a 7 out of 10. Very solid team. Some things that can be improved upon. So we'll see if maybe make some changes further down the league. We got Lou. I think we both gave him 10 out of 10, right? Let me see.
This is our that's our
10 out of 10. Yep. So,
nice.
but
right.
Going by that, I think that's the only one we agreed with. 10 out of 10. So this is, once again, just pure opinion, the best team of the whole league. So congratulations, Lou. You get both our seal of approval.
Yeah. Congrats, buddy.
Okay.
Dude, I'm gonna flame him later.
All right. Hey, but remember, this could go both ways because now everyone can clown on this guy if he loses any matches.
That's facts. I mean, last season and main season, what did he lose? Like 2? He was number 1 heading into playoffs. So I think he's going to do it again, frankly.
All right. We have next Harvey on the list. You gave him an 8 out of 10, and I actually gave him a 9 out of 10. How much I love it. I mean, I think it's because I'm more of a Screamtail believer. I generally do love them on.
I think that you could boil it down to that. Also, mafia privilege.
No, this was for real. That because I had Screamtail and all that stuff.
Sure.
All right. 1 second. All right. So next we have Finley. You gave him a 9 out of 10, and I was the hater that gave him an 8 out of 10.
I think that's respectable. I helped draft this team, so maybe a little bit of a favor on my behalf. But
look at there, Mr. Pot. How you doing?
Yeah, but I own it.
Using power. All right.
Sure.
Maki's our penultimate here. You gave Maki 7 out of 10, and I gave Maki another 7 out of 10. We agreed on this one. We like a lot of the mons, but feel like there's just some things missing here and there.
Right. Like I said, I think that this could easily go 8 for either one of us. Really great mons, but yeah, 7 out of 10.
All right, and then last is Spoods. You gave Spoods a 6 out of 10.
Don't hate me, Spoods. Don't
worry, Spoods. I'm here to save the day with a nice 7 out of
10. Save the day.
All right, so there we have it. And going by that, sorry, Spoods, you do by this have the worst team. Actually, no. He tied with DPAV. Hold up, he actually tied with DPAV.
Did he tie with DPAV 6 and 7? Did you give DPAV a 6?
I gave DPAV. Remember, I'm the hater.
Yeah, you're the hater.
Yeah, I'm the hater. Yeah, just because the bolt beam thing, it's like, still a concern. I know he's gonna be fine, but it's just like still.
I mean, it is a difficult thing. First of all, to draft, and second of all, to keep all of those weaknesses in mind, especially if you're not using some sort of preparation document. So, like looking at DPAV's team and having those glaring weaknesses, it makes sense.
And then the bolt beam doesn't go away because both his Terramons aren't affected by it. Except that I think Embor is the only one that can actually technically get hurt if he goes Terra Grass.
Sure.
Yeah, but there we go. Thank you very much for being with me here today, Funch.
No problem. It was really fun. I enjoy doing this sort of thing, especially since I'm so entwined in this community. These are my coaches, after all. So really excited to see how the season goes from here.
All right. So there we have it. We will be doing the weekly pick'ems in the Discord. I'll probably post it down in the comments as well what our weekly pick'ems are as we go through week by week. And so thank you everyone for being here with us today. We hope you enjoyed it, and can't wait to see you for the following videos following this season of the DDL. Thank you everyone, and see you next time.